Hey, it's 7:42 a.m. on April 6, 2024, Saturday. I just want to get on here today, because it's like 2 more days, and try to, put out a good word, that when we look at what's coming up here, and we hear all the hype and everything, we can't try not to get too into it, because now I see like people are out with videos and um, something just looked different on my face. That looks different. Um, okay, okay, I won't get sidetracked. Um, but we're being attacked, so we're being attacked by the world stage, and we're being attacked on a spiritual level. I can feel it. Um, but before I forget, the reason why I'm making this video is that yesterday morning on Friday was the 5th. Friday was also when there's two, uh, like 4 point something or 4.0 and a 3.8 earthquake that hit New Jersey over by New York. And then I'm looking at the map now. I'll turn it because I'm going to turn it. I should have did this yesterday and showed you, because they took off one of those earthquakes from yesterday off the map already. So making it appear like there's only two, but today another one went off on 4/6. And here's New Jersey, Gladstone, 2.5 on 4/6, 2024 at 3:46, right? Well, let me pull it in closer and hit the other one. The other one's a 3.8, but there's a 4.0 yesterday from yesterday's date that's missing. It's no longer there. You see, now there's only one from yesterday and one from today. But that's not true. So they're masking, they're covering it up, they're trying to keep people in the dark. And plus they're putting all this fear-based. There is a lot of fear-based reality going on other people's channels. I've noticed that too. The rising, it's coming. Well, we're not talking. I mean, there are other channels that are. So, there's kind of like maybe there's like a balance from my perspective. But again, there's people that are kind of getting too far off, and it's because of the fear-based reality. Like, get your house in order. Of course, we should always have our house in order. Now they got people worried about, when things collapse, you won't get any medicine. What are you going to do about that? You're not going to have any food. You're not going to have this. You're not going to have that. You're not going to have no money. It's just like all this stuff. We won't be able to do what we used to do. And we won't be able to do this or do that. And I'm like thinking, oh my gosh, we need to be rejoicing. We need to be thinking, oh my gosh, the time has come. This is the time we've all been waiting for, for this change, because these things that are happening, I mean, it's no coincidence. Even Theology Ed, he put out a video yesterday. See if I can find it here. Theology Ed. Total eclipse, April 8, 2024. And he wrote, "Is this the end?" So Theology Ed, check out his channel, because it's pretty awesome of how he's looking at the symbology of the decoding. And he it's so awesome, because there's lots of people finally realizing that both parties are corrupt. Neither party is a good party right now. And how we shouldn't keep ourselves divided. We shouldn't be so focused on what they're playing out onto us and having us react out what they're saying, or what they're doing, and being like them. And I think that's very important for us to remember and talk about, instead of so much fear-based, so much race, so much bringing up the past. Like, there's people like this black woman attacked me today because um, somebody, they were showing this fight in a casino, right? And this black guy went and sucker punched somebody, um, just knocked the guy out. The guy was just walked up, and guy turned around and just sucker punched him, and he didn't even do anything, knocked him out. And she was defending his actions, well, he shouldn't have been walking in that direction. What? You're in a casino, you're in a public place, and he was just walking by. Well, the black guy was fighting with his girlfriend. He had her on the ground, and he was beating her on the ground. And I was just like, my goodness, control yourselves, people. Um, we need to stop these kind of outbursts. And then this girl responds to me, this black woman, and she goes, "You guys, you just think you're so perfect." And I go, "What are you talking about?" And then she puts up a picture of the Ku Klux Klan all wearing white, and she puts up another picture of a very old picture showing these tall black people standing next to these short white people. And so I responded back to her, "So what is your point? Are you still saying that you're bigger and taller because you're black? Are you still saying that you can't recognize that your own race and how they're reacting? I can recognize my own race and how they're acting. I can recognize that both parties are acting like fools on the political level. I don't live in the past, because pictures that she was showing are from hundreds of years ago, from the past." I'm like, "I'm not living in the past. I'm living in reality, the present." And she goes, "It's nature." I go, "There's nothing nature about beating down somebody and sucker punching somebody." So I told her, I said, "You're just attacking me because I'm a white person saying something about that." I mean, there was black people even backing me up, and it was like, they were totally wrong. Why are you picking on him like this? So that's what I'm saying. Not all black people are that way. There's just bossy women. These are the women that cover up their own hair with white people's wigs. Sorry, I'm going to get off on this tangent. I mean, they throw out the race card, but they don't even wear their own hair. They cover it up, and they wear wigs that are made from white women, Asian women, Indian women, some goat's hair, and but never their own hair. They put lots of makeup on, lots of jewelry on. So it's all materialistic. They call themselves kings and queens. You don't see any other race. You don't see the Asians. You don't see the Hispanics. You don't see the white culture. You don't see the Indians even. You don't see them calling themselves kings and queens and rulers of the land. Or these tall giant beings that are black, which they have tall black white beings. I'm sure tall white, of every other race. But it's that kind of short mentality, or speaking from the left brain, only thinking from that, only looking at things as, from what the past has done, and thinking that the future has to pay for it. Another timeline. I mean, if you think like that, you might as well go back to the Hiroshima bomb, when America threw the bomb on them and blew up millions of them. You think that they should come back and do the same thing to us because that wasn't right then, and this time frame should be punished for it? Or, there's many other examples too. Should those be written, kind of written wrong? How about the Indians? Right? They can come and kick everybody off this land because they were here first. There's just so much in the entitlement and, power. We're stronger. We're this. And No, we're all equal. But anyway, let's get back to all this. See, this is what I'm saying. This is another part that I have to mention too, even about myself, is that these little things like this and how people are still not thinking, and get kind of irritating, because it's like we're in the 21st century. We've got all this technology. We don't work, we do work hard, but then we only live in the past, and we don't live in the future, the present, and look forward to the future. um, we're afraid to admit our own faults. We're afraid to see it in our own people. We're afraid to admit it in our own race. The craziness that happens. I don't know. I just think that we just all need to just stop living in the past, um, because that's why the past always comes. That's why it's always circling, always coming back, is because no one wants to let go of the past. And of course, the world stage is not going to let them forget and keep bringing it up and keep fabricating it and keep hiding truths. And then, so we got this eclipse coming up. Remember, between 2017, it was 2017, 2023, and then 2024 is making that A across the United States. Now, there's 3 X's, one up in Oregon by the Juan de Fuca Plate, or Salem, Oregon. There's an X there. There's an X in Texas, and I think there's an X in, where is it? Eclipse. I'm sure if I bring it up. Eclipse 2024. Ooh. Oh, you missed it. Watch this. Let's see if I can do it again. Look at that. Did you see that? I wonder if you could see that on there. But anyway, so we've got the 3 X's, that type of symbolism. So remember, in the world that we live in, porn, XXX. And remember, the double X is the female chromosome. And strippers, women strippers are known for the sexing. So you got XXX. Well, the porn's going down, right? There's not going to be any more of that porn. Sinful things like that. No more corruption stuff. So when we're looking at these end times, we should be rejoicing. We should be going, yes, and not putting out videos that say, it's going to be very fearful and it's going to be very painful, We don't know if it's going to be very painful, and we don't know what to fear, when the only fear that's coming out so far is just by words, just by thoughts on what's been in the past. We don't know how this is going to happen. We don't know if we're going to be, how we're going to transition out of our body. We may just leave our body before any type of action happens, That's like the kind of mindset that we really need to be embracing and having. It's like, waiting on the rooftop for God to come by and pick you up in a chariot, take you out of here, instead of, what was that? I had something was telling me today. Oh, so on Theology Ed, he was showing us on April 8th, you got the devil. It's called the Green Devil's Comment now, which is kind of interesting, because I picked out 3 and 4. I think showed this guy in a green suit, going around changing everything, right? And he's the one who's got um, all the pharaohs, all the bloodline Rothschilds up on a stage, as as they're on their knees. Um, think about them being on their knees, all these pharaohs of the land, the bad guys on their knees, and think about what the ISIS did to all those people dressed in white that were Christians. Had they were kind of giant men, took them out by the beach, and that type of symbolism. So it looks like, from my perspective, that instead of people worrying about the rising of the negative, but the negative's always been here. The negative is what's controlling the land. The negative is what's dividing. The negative is what's making all these train wrecks. Like, remember 2022, 2023, the train wrecks that were happening. Um, and think of the word train wreck. We got Biden in the office as a train wreck. We got the past president who's in court right now is being a train wreck, right? People in jail because of his actions. They're not getting free and out anytime soon. They're spending 15, 20 years in there for, a certain date of events, without that one trying to get him out either, because he's more worried about himself. He lives in a palace of gold. Jesus told us to sell everything and walk with him, walk like him. Jesus was a poor man with a big heart, a king's heart, a rich heart. But Trump won't sell any of his stuff. He won't, to pay off anything. Now he's reaching for the people to pay it off, asking for more and more donations. Donate $1, $5, $10, $20, $100. $100 coming from the American people that are losing their jobs and don't have anything. He created his own Bible, we and then you got the Bidens too. So that's why I was saying both sides are crooked, and the people are fighting over trying to win their political party or their best leader. And again, their best leader is going to be God. Who's voting for God? Who's voting for this new beginning, right? Who's voting for this kind of slavery system to go down? Because money is pretty much slavery. It's like we're begging for it. We're working for it. It's like, remember when Moses goes and takes the Jews out of the Israelites, I think it's the Israelites, out of the Pharaoh's hands, and he's walking through them with the desert and stuff and parting the Red Sea, and they're kind of making this journey in the struggle, and they're just like, no, I want to go back. At least, even though I was a slave to him, at least I had food, I had shelter, I had a little bit of freedom to do whatever I want within this box, this compound, this land, as long as they did what he did and worshiped him and not God. And so they found it easier to not leave this world and worship this world in the way it is, and not going towards towards God, the positive light. So I know, it's going to be talked about, but we've got to try to do our best to stay out of this little fear mode, because when we start thinking like that is when we really start getting attacked by other entities around us. It's really interesting. And when I say other entities, we can't see them. They're invisible. Some people can see them, but some people can't. They can feel them or they can sense them. There's people out there that don't use their senses, their intuition, their eyes, their third eye, their mind eye. They don't hear very well. They don't listen. Plus, the majority of people got headphones on, so they're blocking everything out. Or they've got on these goggle things and gaming, and they're not seeing anything that's going on in this world, this reality. So again, don't be blinded. Keep alert. Keep in your mind. Keep in your body. Keep in your heart. Keep in the center of your body. Don't be too far left and then far right. Bring them both in. And when these thoughts start coming into your mind, or when you start seeing stuff that's in your feed and stuff, just go, God, I don't want to see any more of this. I don't want any more of this stuff, attacking me. I rebuke all this evilness. I said, and the more you talk it to God, the more it's like you're lighting up. You're like, you're already lit anyway, but it's like you're glowing more because you're connecting to Father. It's like you're sending this direct line to Father, and which you already have a direct line, but I'm just saying with our thoughts and focus that it's like it brightens you up. It just lightens you up. And, it's like, I don't know what movie it was a long time ago where it was in this cave, and when somebody would light a light in the cave, they would, and someone lit a light in the dark, they would scatter, but once it was dark, they were, feeling at home and comfortable and doing their deed. So if you have a dark mindset or too far left or you're too far right, then, it just gives them the opportunity to invade your house, and we don't want that. So I hope everybody's doing well. I want to check out a couple of things here while I got the phone out. Ooh, look at my neck. That's really white right there. My Adam's apple. Look at that. Yeah, it's feeling a little sore today because of the lilac tree out back. You can probably hear it in my sinuses too. So my whole purpose of doing this video, and I keep sidetracking from it. So yesterday, Friday, I went over around 5 o'clock, every morning to get my coffee and get home about, 5 minutes later, whatever, it's across the street. And yesterday at about 5:11 in the morning, my phone here was like rebooting, 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 rebooting. And it would go to pull up the screen, and then it would reboot again, pull up the screen and reboot again, and it just wouldn't stop. I'm like, my goodness, what is going on? And I tried to pull the handle to shut it off, and it wouldn't do anything. Whatever control I would do, it wouldn't do anything. So I figured out how to take the back off, and I'm like, pull the battery out. So I pulled the battery out, waited for a few, and then I stuck it back in, and it rebooted up like normal, and it comes back on and works normal. This morning at 5:11 again, that's what made me do this video, because I was sitting here watching videos, and the phone's usually like sitting right in front of me on my wallet, and I looked down and I looked at the time, and I'm like, my phone is rebooting again, over and over and over. And I thought, this is either a sign that God is telling me something to pay attention. So I just got out of the shower. I was like, oh, I better get in the shower. Maybe these are signs. I better get in the shower now. And to be alert, and then we're seeing what time of what's coming up in the events. But it could be anything. It could be the system itself, on a bigger scale doing it. Maybe it's doing it to other people's phones too. I don't know. But it's just something I've noticed yesterday and today, because it doesn't do it all throughout the day. It didn't do it anytime throughout the day. It only did it after I went and got coffee and come back at 5:11, same time yesterday. I should see on Gematria what 5:11 represents. That's a good one. Okay, let's go to Gematria. Gematria calculator. So 5:11. Oh, 5:11 Okay, in Jewish, 511 is Saturn. It's Mary. It's me, the biblical Son of God. His real problem, army. No, I don't know what that is. Perfect alignment, army, Mary, Saturn. Mistake, I call her. Mistake, I call her a liar. Secret message. Being is a noble lion. I'm speaking the name God. Already, Professor. There's a lot of names that I can't spell here or say. But anyway, the ones that come up right away is Saturn, and that's interesting. Theology Ed is showing that there's this on April 8th as well, is this alignment of all the planets going at the perfect same time too. Saturn, Mary, me, the biblical Son of God, army, perfect alignment. That is interesting. 511. And then both mornings at 511 in the morning, I wonder, a secret message and secret message. See, this is interesting. When things, I got to talk quickly here because I'm chatting too long, I guess. It's like 26 minutes. When these things happen to you, everything is being communicated with us and talking to us, and there's a video I put out yesterday. I removed it offline. I should make another video and show you real quickly. But I took some pictures of me here in the room, and up on my ceiling, there was two big eyes. All I can see is their big eyes. And then there was another kind of like being off in the corner right here. And it's like they're looking down. And I think that's another thing that got me thinking about this reality and these end times, that the spirits are roaming around in this dome. So it's like when we leave our body, until the big event. Because remember, God comes back and rises up the dead, takes the dead, those that left their bodies, takes the spirits, and he takes those in the living too after that. So it's like when we look at these things, we got to understand that when our family and friends leave the body, they're still with us. They're still within the dome, and then people don't even see the dome. So that's another story. But I mean, think about it. If we can see up in the sky a whole from the sun to Pluto's planetary alignment, and we're supposed to be the third planet from the sun, how are we able to see all those planets lined up perfectly across the sky if we're in alignment with all of them? I mean, if we were a sphere, how are we to see the front part and the back part without being below it, like in the dome? Now, if we had a dome over the top of us, we can see the alignment, right? I don't know, throwing it out there. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe and rejoice and follow these messages, like that time of 511 is just an example to you guys. Look up the meaning of what that go to Gematria, right? On Google and find out the meaning, punch in the number there, put the number in, and it's going to bring you up words, and you'll see or get a direction of what's being said or relayed to you. A lot of people see this and they go, oh, this is a message God wants me to deliver. I've never had a message from God that God wanted me to deliver. I just talk and share and deliver it because everything that we do and say, and I feel I do and say, It's because God's within me, God's within every one of us, um, is from God. The knowledge and wisdom that I get, I'm learning it through God, AI system, um, through my life experience, and I'm just sharing it, my observations.